Good evening, happy stampers, and welcome to my happy stamping studio. This is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com, and I'd like to welcome our live viewing audience as well as those watching on replay. I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy evening today to join me. I'm so sorry I didn't come on earlier today, but I met up with some of my stamping friends and we went out for my birthday. This is my birthday week. And I was going to come on live with the glasses they gave me. One of the girls gave me these really funny bee glasses. I will wear them next week. So you're going to want to watch next week to see what I look like in these things and what these bee glasses look like. So, as you guys know, everything I do is themed bees, including my team, and so I just enjoy opening these gifts that these girls don't have to give me, but they do, and they all have a bee theme. So, as you're coming on today, please say hello. Let me know where you're coming from and what you did today. I'd love to hear what you did today. So, we are going to be making a fall card today, and I've had several people asking me how to use the items, the products that they already have to achieve a fall look. So it's as easy as just changing up some of the colors in your designs. So I am using some paper that I used earlier on a previous project, using mostly the blues and the yellows, which gave it a soft summery feel to it. And today we're going to add a punch of Timid Tiger and Pecan Pie to amp it up into the fall theme. But before we begin, I do want to let you guys know about a special that's coming in just a few days. Beginning October 1st, you can join my team, and you can join my team for a very, very reasonable price. Our starter kit is going to be two price points. One is $35, and for that $35, you can choose $125 in product. And the second option is for $99, you can choose $189 in product instead. So with both of them, you're getting the same amount of free product. It just depends on how much you want to spend for that kit. And some of you have asked me, do you have to sell it and do parties or whatever? No. You can be a discount purchaser and just buy your own product at a discount. So if you'd like any more information on that, shoot me an email or direct message me right here, and I will talk to you about it. We can chat a little bit and see if that would be right for you. So today we're going to, like I said, we're going to use the Impressions Abloom stamp set. Our ink colors are Darling Duckling, Pecan Pie, and Timid Tiger. I'm going to move those out of the way. We are going to use our blending brush a little bit. I also have the Impressions Abloom dies, and we're going to be using those. And I have our Deckled Circles, and I am using the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th smallest decal die today. And then we're going to be using the Impressions Abloom stamp set, the Everyday Happiness Designer Series paper. And you may remember the card that I made with this pattern, and this pattern was basically blues and yellows. You guys love that card. Well, we're going to switch it up a little bit and do a fall theme card with the same paper pack. So this is the paper we have. Our card base is going to be a basic white, thick. Got some Pecan Pie. I've got the Designer Series paper. And we could really choose either side for this, you guys, because blue and brown is also a fall color combination that we could use, but I wanted to use this side because we've already used the plaid. I've got some scrap paper here, some Timid Tiger, and Old Olive. So we're going to begin by doing some cutting on our mini cut and emboss machine. and our dies. And I'm thinking that this piece is a little bit too wide. So I'm going to have to trim this just a smidgen and take a ½ inch off. I think that's going to be enough. Yep, it'll fit through there now. And we need to cut out our decal circle. So I am using the platform one, using our bottom plate, and I am stair stepping that. So it's going to look like stairs there, because it's really hard to put this through if you don't do the stair step method with this. If you put them all in and line them all up together, they're very difficult to run through. So I like to do them stepped. Put this in, push this down, push it in until the handle moves a little bit. Continue turning, holding the top, and it should just go through smoothly like that. Okay, so we have this. So now I want to stamp some flower centers. So I am going to grab my Darling Duckling, and I am grabbing this center, flower center right here. Now, I could sit here and I don't know how many flowers I'm going to do, but I could do it this way, stamp and cut out. But I want to show you a little trick today. So we will cut those out. I'm going to grab, oops, my die. Here's my flower dies that we're going to need to use. And then this small circle. And I am going to attach, if I can get it off here, this small embossing die. So in this set of dies, you've got some dies that cut and some that will emboss also. And I don't worry about if that's on there straight or not. And what I'm doing is I am getting this temporary tape that I have. And I'm just going to break off a little piece here. And that's just going to hold those two dies together. And I want to put that down on top of our image. Put it on here. Grab my top plate. Put it in. Now, as you can see, this would be a very slow process to cut a bunch of these out if you're doing quite a few of them. And I want to do 5 of them today. So what that does, oops, okay, this didn't quite go all the way onto my paper. So let me just take my paper snips, my scissors here, and I'm going to trim these off. I'm actually going to cut that piece. The piece fits in, but it's not good to cut so close to the edge with that one. Let's pull that out. I'm going to run it through again. Really easy peasy. Forward and backwards. The only reason I'm coming backwards with that one is because I don't want to go off the camera. Okay, and then we're just going to poke this out here. And we have that yellow with the white. Okay, so we could continue to do it that way, but I am going to go ahead and do this one right here. And so I'm going to put this, we already stamped this one. I'm going to put this right on here, and we're actually going to cut 2 at a time. The second one, or the bottom one, is not stamped. Okay, so we're going to push this through. So we're going to need to stamp that after the fact. So I'm cutting 2 at a time instead of just 1. So we've got that, this here, and okay, we're going to take that off and poke that through. You don't want to lose that little die. And I just kind of fan those, and we have 2 for the price of 1. So by doing it this way, some of them are going to be stamped. Some of them aren't going to be stamped. Just going to rip this piece off here. But we can stamp those after the fact. So I'm going to put that one on there. I need the cutout die right there. Tape that back on. Tape that there. Let's put our top platform on. When we put that on, we have to make sure we don't slide it so far that it doesn't, or that it moves that paper. Okay, we're going to slide this in and move that and just roll it through. And I'm going to roll it all the way through this time. I've had several of you ask me, why do you always go forward and backwards? Well, the reason being is I want to do it on camera for you guys. So normally I would just roll it all the way through. So that one, we have the stamped one on top and then the unstamped one there. So with going through 3 times, we've got our 5 flowers. So I'm going to put our dies back here, right like that. Now I am going to do the same thing with my leaf dies. We've got our 2 leaf dies. So we're not cutting one at a time because it does come with 2 leaf dies. We're going to grab our paper. I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to fold it in half. Okay, so this way we can cut out 4 leaves at one time. And for this project, I'm only going to cut 4 leaves out because from a prior project, I already have a bunch of leaves cut out that I can use. And they're lucky enough, they are in Old Olive. I'm just going to bring this back again. And just like that, remove these and take them out. And then if you just kind of fan them like that, they'll come apart. And as you can see, they're cut with those dies also. Same thing with this one. I just push a little bit on the inside. Take it, fan it, and I can take them apart. So I don't have to cut, or at least I cut twice as many with one pass because I'm cutting 2 at a time. And in this instance, I'm cutting 4 at a time. Okay, so we've got those done, and now we need some flowers. So we're going to use the same idea here. And I'm going to take my paper. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to take my, this is a repositionable tape. This is a temporary tape that I, actually one of my clients gave it to me. She says, Judy, try this instead of Post-it notes. She says, it holds your dies together. So I just position my die how I want it. And I will put these right like that. And because we're not stamping first, we don't have to worry about if it's lining up exactly. I'm putting this in so it's snug underneath there, pushing it down, and then I will run it through. So I actually want 5 flowers, and I already have 2 flowers done. So by the time we're done with this, we're going to have 6 flowers. I take this off, lift it up, take my nails, peel that paper off, and same thing, just fan it, and we've got 2 cut. So how many of you have tried this trick before? Now, I know years ago when we first started carrying these die cutting machines, the die cutting machine that we had, we were told that we could cut up to 5 layers with the big Z dies and stuff. Well, what began happening is people were doing 5. Oh, I can do 6. I can do 7 layers. But what happens is when you do too many layers on your machines, you guys, you're loosening that machine up, okay? So be careful. I don't ever go beyond 2 layers. Hey, Chris, how are you? Coming in a bit late, so you have to watch my video tomorrow. Rewatch it. Yeah, you didn't miss too much. I told them how I went out for my birthday today with some friends, and Chris is one of the friends that I went with. And I was going to wear my glasses, Chris, but I didn't. I didn't remember them. They're upstairs still. So I'll have to do that another day. Okay, so we're going to start out with these centers. Now, like I said, I have some centers that are already colored, but I can just take my stamp and look at the center of this and stamp it. And then that will get it full color. Okay, the photopolymer you can see through, and these circles cut out a little bit larger than this circle anyways. So even when I stamp first, I end up stamping a second time. So I find it easier and quicker to die cut first sometimes, but not all the time. Okay, let me clean my stamp off. Let me put some cleaner over here. Now we have our flowers. So the same thing. We can stamp all of them to give them color, but I don't want to stamp them all. So when I do this, I'm going to line up this here. I know that lines up with this longer pointed petal on our flower. So I'm just going to stamp it. And because of the texture on that flower, it's not going to be real solid, but I don't want it real solid. Okay, but it's solid enough there. Then I can also take, to have different looking flowers, I can take my blending brush, pick up some of that Timid Tiger, and I can brush the edges. Okay, because not all flowers are the same. So I just want to give that a soft look. I want some of the flowers to be a little bit lighter so that when you do stamp in ink color, and even in the same color as your cardstock, it is going to be a little bit deeper. So have fun with this. In the stamps, we also have one that has the details on it. This one right here, we could stamp with that one also, and it would give lines instead. So we could have 3 different looking flowers. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so we've got these. We've got 4, oops. Okay, I thought I had more. Oh, there we go. We've got 5 of those. I'm going to grab my take your pick tool. I'm going to put on a little bit of glue on some of these. So now the ones that I stamped on, which are this one and this one, I've got another one over here. Those I stamped on, and these I went and did the blending along the edges. So I'm just going to take this and put it in the center there. Now you could choose even to do maybe a red center, like a cherry cobbler. You could add cherry cobbler onto this, which give them a little bit deeper color. So we have 3 of those on here. I'm going to take that flower center and I'm going to stamp the center of the flower with the Timid Tiger. Okay, remember I said I want them to look different. And I'm really pressing on there to make sure that it's dark. And I'm going to go 2 layers because I want it good and dark. Yes, we have 6 flowers, and you always want to do everything in odd numbers. So we're going to use that 6th flower on the inside of our card. So we've got those together. We have got our leaves. we need to do our sentiments. So our sentiments we're going to do in the pecan pie. And I'm just going to take that scrap of white that I had, and I'm going to do the thanks right on here. And I'm going to form some kind of a strip. I haven't quite decided how yet. I decide that after I get everything on, because every time I put, die cuts together, it's a little bit different. So we've got our pieces of cardstock here, and I want to add a little bit more color to these. So I am going to take my graph paper here, my grid mat, and we'll do this here with our timid tiger. I'm going to start off, and I just want to do a little bit around the edges, not much. It doesn't take much to do, and as you're doing it, it's not going to look like there's much color, but do you see the difference here? Look at that. So it's even deeper here in real life, in person, because I don't have the lights shining on. You guys are getting a lot of light on there, so it looks a lot lighter than it actually is. We could have used Cajun Craze for part of this too. I think that would have been pretty. So we've got that. Then we have this piece here, and I'm going to grab another blending brush, and I'm going to grab the Darling Duckling. Now, this paper actually carried over from last year's catalog, and this is wild wheat. But I find that the Darling Duckling is just a little bit brighter color, and I'm actually going to do two colors around the edge of this. And so I'm bringing the Darling Duckling in farther. Okay, so we're going to only have like a small circle on the inside that doesn't have any yellow on it. And it's hard to tell there, but I think you can kind of see it better here. Now I'm going to take my pecan pie, and we are going to pick up some pecan pie. Let me grab a different brush. Oh, I don't know if this is purple or brown. It looks like it's brown. So pecan pie. Now pecan pie is quite dark. So I want to brush off some of that color. And I'm just going to go around the very edges of this. So when I'm doing my circles, I'm not going onto the paper too much. I just want to go along those edges very lightly. And once again, you guys, as you're doing this, it's not going to look like there's much color. And sometimes if you tip your brush a little bit off the paper, it won't go as far in because it's only this bottom half that's hitting that paper on the edge. Okay, so that's a little trick. Hold it to the side. Oops, I got a little bit too much there, but that's okay. We'll add a little bit of other little dark spots around the edge. Like that. So you're getting more of the color. It's almost like you're coloring the edge and not that. But there we have our pecan pie and our Darling Duckling. Okay, now you remember I said that I had some more leaves. I have leaves. I probably have more leaves than I need. Okay, then I'm also grabbing my, the low profile sparkle dots here. I'm going to use some of those too. Okay, so we're going to start putting our card together. So we have our card base. move this out. Take this, fold it in half, grab my bone folder. You know, I just got a new holder from on my desk. And I'm going to show it to you guys soon. I've been playing with it, and I can actually keep track of my tools just with this desk holder that I have. Okay, so our pecan pie. I'll share it with you guys. Oh, maybe next week. Okay, just put some adhesive on here, and we're going to put this on, and I'm going to make this straight. Hi, Denise. How are you? Thanks for coming in. What are you up to today and tonight? Are you guys watching anything special on TV? Okay, I'm going to center this on here. Now, see how that color begins to pop once I have it onto that pecan pie? That color I brushed on just pops. Okay, we're going to put this, I think, over to this side here. And I'm going to put that flat on because I'm going to put dimensionals, my flowers on with dimensionals. Okay, so we need to arrange our leaves and our flowers. Like I said, I knew I wanted 5 flowers. So some flowers are going to have 2 leaves. Some of them are going to have 1 leaf. Just going to kind of overlap them. 1, 2, 3. 4 and 5. So I'm imagining a flower here, a flower here, a flower here, a flower here, and a flower down here. Okay. Now we can leave those set just like they are. Now we have 6 flowers. So we're going to decide which one we want 3 of. Do we want 3 of the yellow centers? And if we do, we are going to set those not all together. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, tell me, do you like them without the centers, or should I put centers on these too? So let me know what you think. I know what I think. And so I'm going to move these around a little bit while you're thinking there. I need to move this one perhaps up there. Move this one down a little bit. So do you think I should put yellow centers in all those flowers? Okay, I want the leaves in this one to go towards the inside. Because I want greenery on the inside too. So perhaps we put this one this way, that one that way. Oh, my son is leaving. Our boys visited us today. So Denise says, yep, centers. Chris says, yep, centers. Okay, centers it will be. Okay, so I'm going to start placing these. I'm going to start placing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to start placing it with this one here. So I'm going to move these off to the side, and I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right here. Just a little line. And I'm going to actually put that there. And you're going to notice I'm not putting any adhesive on the outside of the leaves. I don't like it when everything is glued down super tight. I like a little bit of dimension. with my dies. So that is why I don't do that. And you know, I just bragged on how I haven't lost anything with this new um, holder. I didn't put my dimensionals back. So I panicked a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to glue the leaves down, and then next goes the flower, the dimensional for the flower. And that helps hold the leaves down too. Now, you don't have to put this all the way down here. You can actually put it on the stems. So that one is coming down a little bit farther. But now I notice that this is floppy. So I'm going to take a mini dimensional. I'm going to take off the protective coating here. Take your pick tool, and I'm going to tuck that underneath there so it sticks up. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is this one that is on the edge. And we're going to go ahead and put it all the way down here and have these flowers, these leaves go here. So once again, I'm just going to place some adhesive right here. And go under that flower just a little bit. And right here. Okay, now our dimensional again. And we're going to take this one, and I am going to add that center on. Go ahead and put it on that flower. And I actually want to overlap that flower just a little bit right there. Okay, so while we're messing with that, we're going to go ahead and put the center on. You know, when I was designing that card, I did want it different. I think I should have done it like a deeper color, but I would have had to bring that color in someplace else, and I didn't. So we're just going to go with the flow. Okay, so here I want these leaves to kind of come down this way to kind of frame this out a little bit. And it's going to come way over here. Okay, so my flowers are coming, my leaves are coming over here, but my flower is going to be tucked under here. Okay, do you see how I did that? So I'm bringing that around. So I want my adhesive right here. And bring my leaf here, following that circle. Press down and hold it for just a second. And then this one right there. Okay, let's get another dimensional and put it on here. So the centers look best. That is the consensus here. Okay. Now we're going to kind of do the same thing towards the top. So I'm going to put these leaves here. Just put some adhesive right here. I may not overlap this flower as much as I did there, but I'm going to bring this leaf down and this leaf over. I just love when you play with flowers like this because you can rearrange them however you want. Just have fun with it. Okay, this one's going to go up here a little bit. Let's get that center on there. Now I was thinking of using these on here, but I'm wondering if I should use a more natural brown. So which do you think I should use? Should I use a sparkly greens or should I use more earth tone browns on here since it's a fall card? Let me know what you think. Okay, these leaves are going to go up on towards the top here. Okay, so we're making a C with our leaves. in our flowers. I'm going to put this right here and down here. Okay, and then another dimensional. We only had to use 2 dimensionals on that one. And once again, I'm going to tuck this under. Okay, now my thought was to take this thanks and to cut it out straight. Let me get my little guillotine cutter here. And we're going to cut it this way. But as I'm looking at this, I could actually stamp directly on there. So which do you think I should do? Should I stamp it directly on there? Or do you think cutting this out and setting it on there for another layer is a good idea? Let me know. I'll do what you say. Oops. Go down here. Don't want to get too close. Denise says brown. So I could put this. Now the reasoning for that is because then this is more white. And now that I put that white strip on, you can really see how I blended in the background. So Denise is saying yes to do the brown. Okay. Do you think I should stamp the words directly on there? Should I chance getting it straight is the question. I could tuck this under a little bit more, or I could just stamp it on there. You see? I'm waiting for the answers. I'll put some of my stuff to the side here while I'm waiting. Okay, we're going to go with the brown. The black is going to be too dark. Can I get this package opened? Denise says there to leave it like this. Okay. So we will put this on, and I am going to use dimensionals again. And since it is a rectangle, I'm going to go ahead and cut the edge off, because I can just put that edge right across there. Okay. I'm going to tuck it underneath the leaf a little bit. Whoops. Right like that. I need to get it straight though. There we go. Attach it on. If you stamp directly, the leaves could get in the way. That's true, Chris. That's true, Chris. And I wouldn't be able to overlap them. I think this way is nice because it gives it a little bit more dimension and height to our card. Okay, now we're going to add our brown. So we have white, we've got like a grayish color in the black, but we're going to use the brown. I'm going to go with the larger ones. And I am actually thinking, because this goes around here, I don't know, it kind of gets lost on here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we put it here? Or should I put them out here to draw your eye out a little bit? Could do it here. Could do another one here. And another one down here. That's where they're going. Now we have one more flower. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that to the inside. We have So Very Much to stamp on the inside. And I'm going to place it where I want it. I'm going to have my black holding it down. Place it where I want it. Now I'm going to grab my larger block. I'm grabbing my E block to attach it. And okay, I'm going to do it this way. I'm lining it up along the right side. Okay, I'm going to make sure it's straight by holding it here, and it's not straight. So I know I want to go to the 6th line, and it's there. So I want to make sure my words are straight. Wow, I'm having trouble seeing the line underneath. There we go. 6th line there. Looks straight. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. Put it on here. Line this edge up to the side. Well, I'm actually going to go over 1/4 inch. There we go. And then we're going to have this flower, which I'm going to put on, and I will make a center for it. We could stamp a flower also, but I like a little bit of dimension sometimes inside my cards. Just put this on the inside. Okay, so don't forget, October 1st, we have some new kits coming out. We've got our starter kit special coming. So there we go. Now, I wish I had the other card. It's upstairs though. On my blog post, I will put the other card so you could see the fall look and the summer look to this card. So thanks, Chris. Glad you like it. So I want to thank you guys for joining me this evening. And until we meet again, everybody, happy stamping.